Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. If you just tuned in to the second hour, carried over from the first, thank you for coming back. We appreciate you. And we're here 5 days a week, 2 hours a day, live. You have to check your local listings in your market as to see when we air, and that's easy to do. Not hard. But we go on the air at 9:06 a.m. Eastern Time, and we're around here almost to 11 a.m. Close. Ziggy Bristowski is my guest today, and Ziggy is a regular guest on LTN. So we always enjoy having him. And Yerba Prima is the company for whom he works, and they're a great company. They do a great job. They've been around a long time, many decades, and they're a digestive care product company. We're going to get back to him in a second. In that first hour, Gary asked me about antioxidants. The notion of antioxidants came up in the conversation about coffee. I said most Americans get most of their antioxidants from drinking coffee. People don't realize that there are antioxidants in coffee, and that prompted Gary to ask, well, what are antioxidants? In order to answer that question, you have to ask, well, what are free radicals? What are these oxidative, what's oxidative stress? What's oxidation? And so on. So it turns out that this is a very important issue in health. And knowing about it is a first step. And because it implicates how well you will age, how well you can fight disease or prevent it, and these free radicals that are created can wreak molecular mayhem in your body and lead to grave consequences for people. And you've heard that term thrown around. Now, why they put the word free on there? Maybe because there's a free electron, but radicals, a radical, sometimes called a free radical unnecessarily, but it's a radical, is an atom or a group of atoms that have one or more unpaired electrons. Turns out in chemistry, in the world of chemistry, that electrons like to be in a relationship, sort of like humans. They like to be in pairs. And oftentimes, some of these molecules of the different elements when you look at the atom and look and see how it's organized in that outer shell, if there's an unpaired electron, it's going to go out shopping for one. So radicals can either have a positive charge, a negative charge, or they can be neutral. They are formed, by the way, and as necessary, what they call necessary intermediates in a number of biochemical reactions that are good, that are necessary for your body. They don't just they're not just derived from toxins and bad food and smoking and alcohol and whatnot. They're also a natural consequence of these natural biochemical reactions in your body. But in that case, or in any case, when you generate too many of these radicals, you now get yourself into a lot of trouble. They can wreak havoc on a broad range of macromolecules. A prominent feature of radicals is that they are extremely high in reactivity. That's why they're called reactive oxygen species, for example. That word reactive. They're very reactive. They get very animated, if you will, which explains not only their normal biological activities, but also the way in which they inflict sort of a pernicious damage on the cells, tissues, and organs of your body. Now, there are many types of radicals, but those of most common concern, and what really has scientists interested, is the biological systems that are derived from oxygen. and known collectively as reactive oxygen species. ROS. You'll see that in the literature a lot. Turns out that this is one of the biggest paradoxes in biology and in chemistry. Oxygen is necessary for life. Oxygen is implicated in the metabolism of food. No oxygen, you die, right? You don't need to go to Harvard to figure this out. Oxygen has 2 unpaired electrons. Well, what do you know? In its outer shell. This electron structure makes oxygen then what? Especially susceptible to radical formation. So the very thing that can keep you alive is the very thing that will do, as I say, wreak molecular mayhem in your body, inflict damage on the cells, tissues, and organs. Now, it turns out also that when, and I'm using chemistry language here, when molecular oxygen is reduced, in other words, when it loses, it gives up an electron, it leads to the formation of reactive oxygen species. And you have different kinds: superoxide anion, hydrogen peroxide, and hydroxyl radical. I just mentioned those to let you know that there are at least those 3 in this category of reactive oxygen species. Each one of those inflicts their own kind of damage. All right? Now, what is a person to do about all this? There's a thing called antioxidants. Antioxidants. These are molecules, atoms, molecules, groups of atoms that will give up one of their electrons. They will donate it. They're a donator. They will donate their electron. They get oxidized. They give it up. They lose an electron. They donate it and pair up with the electron that's unpaired. And what's interesting about that is once they do that, they don't turn into a free radical. They don't. Isn't that interesting? They continue about their business. And that's one of the ways nature has protected us. When you smoke a lot, when you drink a lot, when you're under a lot of stress, when you eat foods that are toxic, when you get toxic chemicals in your body, all of these are sources, these are environmental sources for the formation of free radicals, in addition to their natural formation in many processes. And it's also, because people say, well, geez, these are unstable. Why would the body make these? Well, it's just a natural consequence. Like when your ATP, the formation of ATP in your mitochondria, exposes oxygen to electrons being transferred through the electron transport chain, that generates superoxide radicals. These superoxide radicals are dangerous, but you need it. You have catabolic processes where you're breaking things down by naturally. You create free radicals. You also create free radicals in your immune defense. So these radicals are also important in natural processes as well. But again, when there are too many of them and you don't have enough antioxidants, now you're in trouble. And these free radicals have been associated with all sorts of diseases, heart disease, cancer, it goes on and on. That's why people, should eat a diet that's rich in antioxidants or take supplements with antioxidants in them. All right, I hope that made sense. When we come back, we'll talk to Ziggy. Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, and where we always are trying to learn. I did just a brief sketch tutorial on free radicals. I didn't get into oxidative stress, but I wanted to mention antioxidants because Gary had asked me, what are they? What do they do? They are key. They are so important in protecting your body from molecular damage, cellular and molecular damage. Nevertheless, Ziggy Brostowski is my guest. He's with Yerba Prima. They have a wonderful product that's a merengue, and it's rich in antioxidants. Welcome back, Zig. Let's pick it up there again, okay?
Sure.
So that's relatively new?
Brand new. Last couple months.
It's interesting that you guys chose to go down that road. I think it's a good move. Depending on how that's marketed, there are so many antioxidant products out there, but the source is very important. The merengue plant turns out to be rich in antioxidants. It's trending now in the natural products industry, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's been around for a while, but I don't think a lot of people are, I don't want to say, this is really an educated industry, so I think a lot of consumers really aren't educated on how good and how beneficial merengue is, especially nowadays where, people are buying this for vitamin A or this for antioxidants or this for amino acids. I mean, it's really a one-stop shop that's just a really good everyday supplement. So we think it's a fantastic product. We associate our products with quality, and this is just a really quality product at an affordable price.
How many do you take a day? Do you take it on an empty stomach or with food?
Well, with the diet I've been doing, I'm sort of, I don't want to say starving myself with some nutrients, but it's definitely I'm lacking in some things that I should be having. So I'm taking 2 in the morning and 2 at night. I'm also doing the powder and some of the smoothies and stuff I drink. So it's really about preference, but you really should be taking it twice a day.
You alluded to a diet that you're on. How much weight have you lost?
Well, I hate to call it a diet because people that are keto get mad when you don't call it a lifestyle, but I'm down 62 pounds in just over 14 weeks.
Okay, let's do the math. How many pounds a week is that?
That's about 20 pounds a month, so 5 pounds a week.
Geez, that's not too bad. That's not bad. I mean, 5, you're pushing it. You're pushing it. I think a pound a week is great success. 5 pounds a week is 5 times.
Well, I've been extremely strict, and I've been doing a lot of swimming. And it's just after listening to a lot of things about your show, and talking about our good friend Jeff and what happened to him, it sort of made me reevaluate my lifestyle and what I wanted to do. And since I'm in the health food industry, and I think it was only fitting that maybe I got a little fitter.
It's only fitting that you get fit. Well, congratulations. What I worry about when people lose this much weight this fast is that they will have a relapse and then a recurrence of the weight gain.
100%.
I worry about that. What eating plan? You're on a keto. Explain to this is very important. I know it's a little off topic because I'll bring it back to fiber here in a second.
Sure.
Explain to the listener and the viewer, if you could just take a moment, what kind of foods are you eating? Because they're interested in this keto way of eating. What in your mind constitutes a keto plan?
So, to sum this up in 20 seconds, what I'm doing is I'm replacing carbs in my system with fats. And what happens is you burn fats a lot faster, so when you're starving yourself of these carbs, your system looks for these fats to burn as your energy source. So as it's burning that fat, it attacks your fat rapidly in your system. It's about putting your body in ketosis. So, I keep my carb intake under 25 a day, and I keep my fat intake at about 75 a day.
Repeat that again?
So I'm replacing my carbs, which is
the numbers.
Oh, I keep my carb intake under 25, and I keep my fat intake right around 70, 75.
You're talking about percent?
No, I'm talking about actual carbs. I'm talking about the actual, not the percent. I keep my carbs under 25 a day. I count them.
Yeah, 25 grams.
20.
25 grand.
Yeah, you got to give me the metric. I don't.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just so used to spinning it off like this. So if you think about it, one piece of bread, you're talking 32 carbs. I don't even have what that carb intake is on a piece of bread.
My land. What kind of food are you eating for fat?
I eat a lot of cheese, a lot of fatty meats rather than chicken breasts like most people would do.
Wow.
And in fat, I'm doing, chicken thighs. I'm doing a lot of plants. I'm doing, a lot of fatty stuff. A lot of cheese. I mean, a lot of this is a lot of cheese, too.
Wow.
Pepperoni.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. See, I don't eat those foods. If I wanted to go on a keto plan, people think a keto diet is high in protein. No. It's high in fat.
Yeah, my protein intake is about 20% of my diet.
Right. I was speaking with one of my physicians yesterday, and she's on sort of a keto way of eating. Mm-hmm. Very few carbs on a regular basis. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she sustains it.
Well, people ask me all the time. One, you should be extremely educated because if it's not done right, it can be extremely harmful to your system.
Absolutely.
Two, this is not a long-term diet. This is a lifestyle change to get you where you need to be. So if you're looking to lose, you're heavier and you really need to lose a lot of weight, this is a really good plan that, you can't sustain, but once you get to your goal, you switch to different lifestyle.
What about, all right, so what about constipation? You're not getting any fiber, brother.
One good thing about this is a lot of the stuff that I eat is high in fiber, but I'm also supplementing my intake of fiber with, this great company called Yerba Prima.
All right, when we come back, let's find out what fiber supplements you're using from your own company. Al Pacino said in the movie Scarface, don't get high on your own supply. But here, you do want to use your own supply. All right, we'll find out what you're using. We're here to learn. We'll be back. Are you getting enough fiber in your diet? You know, there are some food cultures where the people living in that society will consume as much as 75, 90 grams of fiber a day. I'm not saying that you need to be there, but I am saying getting 12, 13 grams a day is not enough. 10 grams of fiber a day, 15, not enough. It's just not. It's going to get you into, it's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. And constipation will be the least of your problems. Fiber is, as I said, a diet without fiber is a life without health. Ziggy Prstowski is my guest. He's educated for Yerba Prima, one of the best dietary supplement companies that specializes in digestive care products on the planet. Welcome back. All right, so you're on this keto diet. You're not eating carbohydrates, so that tells me automatically, by definition, you're not getting any fiber of any consequence. You said you're supplementing. So I and the audience would like to know, given that you work for the company, what fiber products are you using in your supply?
I'm using our daily fiber. I'm trying to take a good fiber blend. Obviously, we're really known for our psyllium, which is a great source of fiber. Preference for me, that's what I'm doing. The psyllium, extremely high bulking, though. It's going to be really great and help controlling cholesterol levels, help lowering glucose levels. So while our daily fiber has some psyllium in it, it's just a really good fiber blend.
Keep me in suspense. What's the blend?
There's acacia gum in it, just a bunch of different fibers. I mean, if you want to get technical, I'm sure a lot of your listeners aren't going to know what these fibers are, but it's just a well-balanced form. So this way, if somebody's taking a psyllium, product, and they maybe want something different than just psyllium, at least our company offers that to them.
Mm-hmm. And how many grams of fiber are you getting a day? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm probably getting upwards of 50, which is a lot.
Woo.
A lot. Yeah, a lot of the food I'm supplementing in my diet, there's a lot of keto-friendly foods out there now, and they're actually high in fiber, because the one good thing about fiber, if something has 12 carbs in it, but it's got 10 grams of fiber, it's really only had 2 net carbs. So it's something that I can do because the fiber is, subtracted from the carbs. So while I'm getting the fiber with those foods that I'm supplementing, I'm also taking a fiber supplement. So, I'm sort of listening to what you say all the time about these other cultures that are high in fiber and sort of going down the same route.
Mm-hmm. 877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK. There are a lot of people now that have embraced this keto way of eating. My recommendation is, if you're going to do it, you must get that fiber into your diet. It turns out that, don't worry about calories. There are virtually no calories with the fiber, virtually. It's amazing, the irony of fiber. There are no micronutrients to speak of, right? You don't get any energy. There are no calories, but yet it's one of the most important things to put in your body.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it all starts with digestive health. We've talked about this before. It doesn't matter what you do. If your body is not processing your food and your nutrients and eliminating your waste properly, then, it doesn't really matter what you do and what kind of diet you're doing. So, it starts with fiber. It starts with digestive health. And I keep telling everyone this. I've been here 20 years. Yerba Prima has been around 40. We've been educating the same way. This is where it starts. You want to live a healthier lifestyle? Start right here.
Absolutely. This is not hard to figure out. Somebody called in yesterday. Remember, Gary? The lady asked me about a fat burner. She's 70 plus years old. She's very active, nice woman. I was very reluctant to tell her to get a fat burner. If she were my client, I would, and if she insisted, I would not take her on as a client. Because I am not going to encourage her to use a fat burner. That's not what she needs. If she got on a fiber plan, got more fiber into it, I introduced her to PGX because that was on the spot. I know it's not a product from your company. I understand that. But I wanted to give her something that I could quickly talk about. She can go read about. She can get the shakes and do the whole program. But now that I have a moment, I would say to her also, if she's listening or watching, you can use the Yerba Prima products, the daily fiber product, for example. Introduce that into your diet, and you will see the fiber creates a feeling of fullness, doesn't it, Zig?
Yeah, I mean, especially more so with psyllium. Psyllium has a really high bulking effect, which I talked about earlier. So when you take psyllium, if you just take a couple teaspoons of psyllium, put it in some water, stir it around. We did this experiment the other day with my sales staff, and you watch it. That expands out so much that you could put a spoon in there, and the spoon will just stand up straight right in the middle thing. You can turn it upside down. That's the same thing it's going to do in your gut, in your intestinal tract. So it's going to create a sensation of fullness, which is, if you're dieting and you're trying to curb your hunger, that's extremely good.
It's excellent. I just can't encourage the listener and the viewer to really consider getting more fiber in your diet, especially if you're on a keto plan or some low carbohydrate plan. Fiber comes from plants. If you're on a low carbohydrate diet, you've eliminated a lot of the plants, the vegetables, the fruit, seeds and whatnot, where you're going to get fiber. Beans have a lot of fiber. They also have a lot of protein.
Yeah, Doc, I mean, too, if you look at this, any of these, I don't want to call them fads, but whether it's keto or paleo or Atkins or you're doing low carb, there's one thing that's universal with all these diets. They are all deficient in fiber. So, a lot of these guys, even if you're a bodybuilder, you're doing high protein, deficient in fiber. If you're doing Atkins, deficient in fiber. If you're doing keto, deficient in fiber. So you see where a company like ours can really help come and help you out. So, I don't want to just say, hey, keto, this is the way to go. I mean, it's really with anybody that's doing anything. And if you're just trying to curb your appetite a little bit, I mean, hey, psyllium's great to introduce some more fiber and create that sensation of fullness. Why not?
Your point's well taken. That's an excellent point that you just made. All these diets, I'm not a fan of diets. I'm not a fan of weight loss diets. I'm not a fan, generally speaking. They typically lead to failure and recurrence, relapse and recurrence.
Why do so many of these diets are scared of fiber, Doc?
It's not that they're scared of it. They're eliminating the carbohydrate, Gary, and then by definition, you eliminate the fiber. It's not the fiber that they're worried about. They're worried about the glucose associated with the carbs, especially the simple carbs. That's what they're worried about. And I understand it. I get it. But I'm just saying, my take on this. We come back, we'll have the LTN Health Question of the Day, and we'll continue our conversation with Ziggy Brzezowski. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning in. Here's the LTN health question of the day. Which of the following I didn't talk about this, so let's see how well-versed you are about fiber. Which of the following would describe, what I'm about to describe, is it soluble fiber or is it insoluble fiber? Okay, I'll give you the description, then you tell me if it's soluble or insoluble. This kind of fiber absorbs water during digestion. It increases stool bulk and may decrease blood cholesterol levels. It can be found in fruits such as apples, oranges, grapefruit, vegetables, legumes such as dry beans, lentils, and peas. You'll find it in barley, oats, oat bran. Okay? What kind of fiber is that? Did I give you a description of soluble fiber, or did I give you a description of insoluble fiber? If you have the right answer, you'll win a $25 supplement gift card.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK.
Welcome back, Zig. So, okay. Now, so you take the daily fiber now that you're on that keto way of eating because you're hardly getting any carbohydrate in your diet, which tells me you're not getting any fiber in your diet of any consequence. So you're supplementing almost 50 grams a day?
Well, I'm getting about total. I count everything from my macros to my carbs to my fiber. So, it's just total fiber. It's not that when you reduce the carbs, it's not that you're cutting out all fiber. I mean, fiber is really zero net carbs. So if you pick up a fiber product that says, 7 grams of fiber, 7 carbs, it's really 0 carbs.
Mm-hmm. By the way, you'll see different recommendations for fiber intake. What do you recommend fiber intake for women and fiber intake for men?
I mean, listen, FDA says depending on your age and gender, you should be anywhere between 35 and 45 grams a day. So, depending on those things, it depends. But that's right around where you should be. And most Americans are getting anywhere from 5 to 15 a day.
I know. On a good day.
On a good day.
Yeah. So, if you don't like to eat plants, then you're going to need to supplement if you want to maintain your health. As I said now several times, a diet without fiber is a life without health. Let's go and talk to Jerome. Where's Jerome today? Hi, Jerome.
Hey, how you doing, Doc?
Hi, Jerome. Where are you, man? Tampa? Are you in Tampa?
Tampa, I always used to be to the things where you don't do them no more. At the discount.
I know.
How you been doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm doing good. Listening to you every day.
Oh, Jerome.
Keep me going.
Thank you very much, man.
I got to up that fiber a little more, though.
We're all in it together, right, Jerome?
Yes, sir, Doc.
We're all in it together.
You're a very good man.
Oh, thank you.
I like how you tell it. You tell it like it is, and that's the best way to do it.
I try.
I miss seeing you at those shows, though.
Well, thank you. You're welcome to come by the studio anytime as a guest. You let us know. You can call the board, let the producer know, and we'll get you into the building. We'll bring you back into the studio anytime you want. You just let us know.
Okay, I'm going to do that. I still would love to do that.
Okay. I extend the invitation because I mean it. You're welcome anytime.
Thank you, sir.
As is anybody. You want to come by the studio, you like to spend a little time in here, see how we do it. We're delighted to show you the building. There's like 8 or 9 radio stations here. There's you have to get through security in the front, but I can help you with that. They frisk you. No, they don't.
I love to come, though, so I'm definitely going to do it. So
all right. You
done told me, so I'm coming.
Oh, absolutely you come. You better. And what you do is you call the number and let the producer know, whoever's working the board, Katie or Morgan or Reggie or whomever's working the board, you let that person know. They'll tell us, and we'll come down there to the front, and we'll escort you back.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Doc.
So what?
That sounds good.
The answer is what? Is it soluble fiber?
Soluble.
Soluble. Yeah, soluble fiber absorbs water. Insoluble fiber really, when you eat food with insoluble fiber, it remains unchanged. It passes all the way through your digestive system, all the way into the colon. It remains unchanged. And there, what it does is that it absorbs water and helps form your stool. That's what it does. So, yeah. And it turns out, as a species, we don't have digestive enzymes to break fiber down. Nature's amazing, because nature understood that biologically we need to have this fiber in our body for our health. So we don't have digestive enzymes to break it down, and that's why it is the way it is. It really doesn't get digested in the way other foods do. So congratulations. You let us know when you want to come. You're welcome into the station, and we'll have you here in the room with us, okay?
Yes, sir. And I learned all this for free. Wow, isn't that amazing? Beautiful.
It is for free. What was that song? The Money for Nothing and the Chicks for Free. Who was that?
Dire Straits.
Dire Straits. I like Dire Straits. I love that group. And Zig, how are you going to spend the rest of your day today?
I'm going to spend the rest of my day working, and that's it.
What are you going to eat today on your keto diet?
You know what? I'm fasting every day until 12, and then I'm going to have an omelet with cheese and pepperoni.
Sounds good, brother. Do you make it, or do you go down the street?
I got this great diner right down the street.
Great diner down the street. All right, Zig. Thanks for stopping by today. It was very good. Nice show, man. You did a good job.
Yeah, always great talking to you guys. Thank you so much, Doc. Thanks, Gary, and we'll talk to you next month.
And thank you for contributing that product to the caller today.
And thank you for my brush.
Hey, listen, you're welcome. Next time you need me, let me know. I'll come down. I'll scrub your back for you.
Oh my God.
See that?
TMI, man. Too much information.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you too, Sid. Thanks for tuning in today. Thank you for listening. Thanks to all the affiliates. We appreciate you so much. And everybody that listened and watched, we're here for you. We do this every day. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll try it again. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you. Listen to the music.